Always has been. She takes after her father.
Well, sister, how pretty you look tonight.
Are you here again? You mind your manners, young lady? France was under Nazi occupation, and the great Josephine Baker was performing in Lisbon. I'm Marguerite Peck. I'm here about the ad. You said babysit. This is no baby.
I'm 6.
6?
Excuse me?
Patients have all been given their morning medication.
That's good. Dr. Sarah was hoping you'd have some free time. You want to come with me, please?
I know this won't be easy for any of you. Change never is. I wish the face you remember was the face I was still wearing, but that face is gone.
You have quite an imagination.
But if you wanted me to leave, wouldn't it have been easier to just say so?
Veteran actress Mary Alice has died. Alice won a Tony for her work in Fences on Broadway and an Emmy for the series I'll Fly Away. Younger audiences may know her as the Oracle from The Matrix Revolution.
She was a school teacher before she was an actress. She stepped onto the Broadway stage in 1971 in a production that won the Pulitzer Prize. She stood across from James Earl Jones in August Wilson's Fences and, according to one critic who was there that night, blew the doors off the entire cast.
On Broadway, where she won a Tony Award last year for Fences.
Coming from a Broadway show, Fences, to a TV sitcom could have been a very difficult transition, but because of the cast and the crew and the staff of A Different World, the transition has been very easy for me, and I'm having a lot of fun.
She won a Tony. She won an Emmy. She was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame. And when Gloria Foster, the original Oracle in The Matrix, died before filming was complete, there was only one name the production considered to replace her. Stay right here, because before this video ends, you will hear what Viola Davis said about her the day she died that will stop you cold. And you need to know about the mystery surrounding her age, a detail she guarded so carefully that even the newspapers could not agree on a number when they announced her death. Mary Alice Smith was born on December 3rd, the year disputed, somewhere between 1936 and 1941 in Indianola, Mississippi, a small city in the heart of the Delta. Her father was Sam Smith. Her mother was Oslar Smith.
Born in Indianola, Mississippi, she displayed a natural talent for acting and began her stage career in her hometown.
When she was still very young, around 2 years old, according to most sources, the family made the migration that defined millions of Black American lives in the 20th century. They left Mississippi and moved north to Chicago, Illinois. She grew up on the south side of Chicago. She attended Chicago Teachers College, later renamed Chicago State University. And when she graduated, she did exactly what the degree prepared her to do. She became a school teacher, working at an elementary school in Chicago. She was good at it. She was organized, patient, and present in a room in the way that only certain people are. But something else was pulling at her. In the early 1960s, Mary Alice began performing in community theater in Chicago. The stage confirmed what the classroom had been quietly suggesting, that she had a gift for inhabiting other people, for making an audience believe in the reality of a character with such completeness that the character became more real than the performance. She moved to New York City. She worked her way into productions in Manhattan's East Village throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s, building a reputation in the off-Broadway world as someone whose presence could carry a scene and whose stillness could carry an entire play. In 1971, Mary Alice appeared in No Place to Be Somebody on Broadway, Charles Gardon's play about a Black bar owner in Greenwich Village, the first play by a Black playwright to win the Pulitzer Prize for drama. She was on Broadway. She was working alongside the theater world's most serious artists, and the industry was beginning to understand that this quiet woman from Mississippi, by way of Chicago and Chicago Teachers College, was one of the most precise performers of her generation.
She started on Broadway, where Alice earned 2 nominations and 1 win at the Tony Awards.
Like they say in the motto, you never know.
Her screen debut came in 1974 in The Education of Sonny Carson.
I've been waiting 15 days.
I don't care how long you've been waiting.
No, Sally Jean,
A biographical drama about a Brooklyn gang member's journey through the criminal justice system. Television followed. Policewoman on NBC.
Pray to be absolved of my husband's murder because he wouldn't be dead lying in there in that suit and tie he hated wearing if it weren't for you.
Sanford and Son on NBC.
So I would like to suggest that you give us the basement apartment and make Rodney the manager of the Sanford Arms.
She was building the film and television side of her career with the same methodical discipline she had brought to the stage. In 1976, she appeared in Sparkle.
I can't live like this anymore, Mom. I gotta find another way.
Well, whatever troubles you got here are going right with you in that suitcase.
The Warner Brothers musical drama about three sisters from Harlem trying to make it in the music business, mostly based on the Supremes. Mary Alice played Effie Williams, the single mother of the three daughters at the center of the story. The film starred Irene Cara, Lynette Wakey, and DeJuan Smith. Aretha Franklin recorded the soundtrack. The film became a cult classic, one of the defining black films of the 1970s, and Mary Alice's performance as the mother grounded its emotional center with the kind of authority that only comes from a performer who understands exactly what a scene requires and delivers precisely that. In 1987, she joined the cast of A Different World.
Who is it?
Whitley Gilbert, Emily.
Sorry, girls, it's past curfew. Get a motel room.
The NBC Cosby Show spinoff set at a fictional, historically black college in Virginia, Hillman College. She played Letitia Letty Bostic, the dorm director.
As the newest member of the cast of A Different World, Broadway actress Mary Alice plays a former Hillman College student who returns to complete her own studies while working as Denise Huxtable's dorm counselor.
The woman who saw everything, knew everything, and ran the residential life of the students with a combination of maternal warmth and absolute authority that only a woman who had once actually stood in front of a classroom of children could bring to the role.
She dropped out of school years and years ago, and she went to Paris and lived there, and she met many famous people. At least these are the stories that she tells, and as far as I'm concerned, they're true.
The show premiered on September 24th, 1987, and became one of the highest-rated programs on American television. For 2 seasons, Mary Alice was one of its bankers, the adult presence that balanced the youth energy of Lisa Bonet, Jasmine Guy, and Don Lewis. She appeared in seasons 1 and 2, then departed to return to the stage. She also played Ellie Grant Hubbard on All My Children during the same period, a recurring daytime television role that extended her reach into one of American television's most watched soap operas.
Coming from a Broadway show, Fences, to a TV sitcom could have been a very difficult transition, but because of the cast and the crew and the staff of A Different World, the transition has been very easy for me, and I'm having a lot of fun.
But the work that defined her legacy, the performance that every serious theater person in America knows her name from, happened on the Broadway stage in 1987. August Wilson's Fences had its world premiere at the Yale Repertory Theater in 1985 before transferring to Broadway in 1987, running at the 46th Street Theater. The play starred James Earl Jones as Troy Maxson, a former Negro Leagues baseball player, now a garbage collector in 1950s Pittsburgh, whose pride, ambition, and failures have shaped and constrained every relationship in his family. Mary Alice played Rose Maxson, his wife, a woman of profound loyalty and quiet endurance who, over the course of the play, discovers the full cost of what she has devoted herself to. The production dominated the 1987 Tony Awards. James Earl Jones won Best Actor. Mary Alice won Best Featured Actress in a Play. The Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Featured Actress in a Play went to her as well.
This is indeed a blessing. I thank the American Theater Wing Nominating Committee and the Tony voters. Above all, I thank the divine intelligence, God. I accept this tribute in memory of my beloved father, Sam Smith. I send my love to my mother, Ozella, Brother Earl, Sister Essie Johnson.
One audience member who was present described her performance later. I was privileged to see her performance in Fences on Broadway, where she blew the doors off James Earl Jones and the others. Let that sit for a moment. James Earl Jones, one of the most commanding presences in the history of American theater, and a woman who had been a school teacher in Chicago, stood next to him and by that account was more compelling. She described her approach to Rose simply: I just tried to understand her and to place myself in her shoes. I think Troy is a character who has a magnificent spirit, and Rose had to be someone who would complement that in her devotion, her support, her loving and nurturing, and taking care of him. In 1990, she appeared in 3 major films within the same calendar year. In Awakenings, Penny Marshall's acclaimed drama about catatonic patients briefly revived by an experimental treatment.
They'll sit there like that all day if I let them. I have to play the first card.
She played Nurse Margaret opposite Robin Williams and Robert De Niro in Charles Burnett's To Sleep with Anger.
Gideon, don't bother the poor boy. It just takes some people a little longer to figure out who they are.
Yeah.
She played the family matriarch, navigating a disruptive house guest played by Danny Glover. In Brian De Palma's The Bonfire of the Vanities,
I think I should have the right wardrobe. So if you could have Mr. Fox's limousine pick me up tomorrow morning, I could do some shopping.
she played a woman whose son was struck by a car in the South Bronx. 3 distinct films, 3 distinct directors, and 3 distinct registers of performance delivered in the same year. She also appeared in The Women of Brewster Place in 1989.
I'm so ashamed. Now you listen to me, girl. There ain't nothing for you to be ashamed about. Having a baby is the most natural thing in the world.
The television miniseries based on Gloria Naylor's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, produced by and starring Oprah Winfrey. Beginning in 1991, I'll Fly Away aired on NBC.
I told myself I'm gonna rock 12 times straight and then she'll come up the walk. I just finished 12 rocks, and here you are.
A drama set in the American South during the early years of the Civil Rights Movement, following a white Southern lawyer and his family and the black housekeeper who navigated both worlds simultaneously. Mary Alice played Marguerite Peck in a recurring role that anchored some of the series' most emotionally demanding episodes. She was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series in 1992. She did not win. She was nominated again in 1993, this time at the 45th Primetime Emmy Awards held at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium on September 19, 1993. She won.
And the Emmy goes to Mary Alice.
She stood at that podium with the Emmy in her hand, a woman who had been born in Indianola, Mississippi, who had moved to Chicago as a toddler, who had taught elementary school before she ever appeared on a stage, who had won a Tony 6 years earlier, and was now holding the most recognized award in American television.
Thank you so much. I am so surprised, but I am very delighted. I'd like to thank the Academy so much. I'd like to thank the agent who worked on this, Paulette Bartlett. I'd like to thank Jay Bender.
The work continued without pause. Malcolm X in 1992 for Spike Lee.
He was a great, great Afro-American. And Malcolm X is you, all of you. And you are Malcolm X.
The Inkwell in 1994.
You finally decided to come see your mother before she up and died on you, huh?
Hello, Mama. You looking good.
Thank you, Brenda.
Acting alongside a young Lorenz Tate. Down in the Delta in 1998.
When the white Sinclairs first came over from Alabama, and they didn't come over with much, just their animals.
Directed by Maya Angelou, her only feature film as director. Having Our Say on Broadway in 1995, for which she received a Tony Award nomination for Best Performance by a Leading Actress in a Play, her second Tony nomination. Beach Street.
I'm Lee's mother. What you want him for? I'd like to talk to him. Maybe you want to talk to his brother.
Sunshine State.
Oh, Desiree's back?
Visiting. She's not back.
Hurricane Desiree.
Nights I sat here wondering where that girl could be.
Oz on HBO in 2002.
How are you, Father?
I'm fine, Mrs. Hill. How are you today?
Excited to see my son. It's been way, way too long.
Of course.
In 2000, Mary Alice was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame, the permanent record of the people who built American theater over the 20th century. She was 58 or 63 years old, depending on which birth year you accept, and she was already a permanent fixture in the institution's history. And then came the call that nobody expected. Gloria Foster had created the role of the Oracle in The Matrix in 1999, one of the most quietly powerful supporting performances in American science fiction cinema. She was scheduled to return for both sequels, Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions. She filmed her scenes for Reloaded. On September 29, 2001, before principal photography on Revolutions could begin, Gloria Foster died of complications from diabetes. She was 64 years old. The Wachowskis faced a decision that had no clean solution. The Oracle was not a small role. She was the philosophical heart of the entire story, the woman who told Neo the truth, who held the knowledge that the machines and the humans needed equally, who understood the system from the inside in a way nobody else could. Recasting her was not a production logistics question. It was a creative and spiritual question. They chose Mary Alice. She brought something to the Oracle that was both different from Foster's interpretation and completely continuous with it. Where Foster had been precise and slightly unnerving, Mary Alice was warmer, more grandmotherly, more physically present in the domestic space of the kitchen. The character's wisdom felt different coming from her body and her voice. The production also incorporated the transition into the story itself. The Oracle had changed bodies, she explained, because someone had gotten inside her code. The film was released on November 5th, 2003.
This war is going to end tonight. The future of both worlds will be in your hands or in his.
She also voiced the Oracle in the video game Enter the Matrix, released that same year. Her Black Reel Award nomination for the performance confirmed that the critical community recognized what she had brought to a role that could have simply been an awkward replacement. In 2005, Mary Alice retired from acting. She was in her mid to late 60s, depending on the birth year. She had spent over 40 years on stage and screen. She moved to New York permanently and lived quietly in Manhattan. She never married. She had no children. She kept her age a private matter so successfully that when she died, the NYPD stated she was 85. Various outlets reported 80, 84, and 86, and the true birth year remains unclear to this day, whether December 3rd, 1936 or December 3rd, 1941. A woman who had spent her entire life making other people's inner lives visible to audiences, keeping her own most basic biographical detail locked away. On the evening of Wednesday, July 27, 2022, Mary Alice Smith died of natural causes in her Manhattan apartment. The NYPD confirmed her death. She was found in her home. She was alone.
Veteran actress Mary Alice has died. Alice won a Tony for her work in Fences on Broadway and an Emmy for the series I'll Fly Away. Younger audiences may know her as the Oracle from The Matrix Revolution.
Her family announced the passing the following day.
Mary died Wednesday night at her home in New York City. Law enforcement tells ET that at this time, there is nothing suspicious about her death.
The tributes came in immediately, and they came in from people who knew exactly what they were saying. Viola Davis, who won an Academy Award for playing Rose Maxson in the 2016 film version of Fences, the same role Mary Alice had originated on Broadway nearly 30 years earlier, posted, "R.I.P. Mary Alice, the original Rose Maxson. You are one of the greatest actresses of all time. Thank you for the work, inspiration, and thank you for Rose. Godspeed, Queen."
In a tweet, Viola Davis called Mary Alice one of the great actresses of all time.
Coleman Domingo tweeted, "A shoulder we all stood on." One audience member who had seen the original Broadway production wrote, "It's a mystery why we didn't see more of her during her career. Our loss." As of the time of her death, Mary Alice's estimated net worth was approximately $4 million, built across 50 years of stage, film, and television work. She earned a Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a Play, a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series, 2 Tony nominations total, an Independent Spirit Award nomination, a Black Reel Award nomination, induction into the American Theater Hall of Fame. She was born in Mississippi to a family that moved to Chicago when she was 2 years old. She became a school teacher. She turned to the stage and never fully left it. She stood next to James Earl Jones on Broadway, and the room remembered her. She stepped into a role that belonged to a woman who had died and made it entirely her own. She lived alone in Manhattan and died there on a Wednesday evening in July. The Oracle told Neo, "Everything that has a beginning has an end." She said it like she already knew. If this story moved you, drop your favorite Mary Alice role in the comments. And if you want more stories about the artists who built everything quietly and were only fully seen after they were gone, subscribe and ring that bell. There is more coming.